of the Flyer football season, which ends this Saturday at Marist in Poughkeepsie, New York. Now that's going to be a noon kickoff, and with the basketball opener against Arkansas State at 2 o'clock, you'll be able to hear the Flyer football game via tape delay right after Flyer basketball on Saturday. Mike Kelly and I making the trip to New York to bring you all the action of that critical game, and a lot at stake. A lot at stake for this storied football program, Rick, because winning seasons are not taken for granted, nor will they ever be. You have a chance to do just that, and after a 1-4 start, a win over Marist would be an achievement.
It would be. I tell you, like you said, Larry, where we started, very tough schedule to start with. Didn't play our best at times there. Found ourselves 1-4, and still had the PFL, the tougher part of the PFL to play. And but these guys have really turned it around, and to be at this point. Usually, Larry, when we get into the last game of the year, we're hoping that we're vying for a PFL championship. That's just Dayton football. We want to have the opportunity to win a championship. That's not going to happen this year, but we still have something to accomplish, and that's to have a winning record, which would be our 35th year out of 36 years of having a winning record. And last year we had a winning record, and out of 123 FCS colleges, only 32 had winning records last year. So I think it'd be very similar this year, so that would be special to us.
Obviously the PFL is, things are ratcheting up a notch. I mean, it's been, I think, the premier non-scholarship league in FCS football, and now getting an automatic bid to the FCS playoffs next season. The champion will go to the playoffs automatically. Things are ratcheting up a notch. You lost some brethren in the coaching ranks today, didn't you?
Yes, we did. Unfortunately, we heard that the staff at Davidson is not going to be retained, the staff at Campbell is not going to be retained, and the staff at Moorhead is not going to be retained. And I think, Larry, it's just the idea that our conference, it's very important to compete and to be up in the top of the rankings each and every year and be competitive like the Daytons, the Drakes, the San Diegos. And unfortunately for those programs, they've been struggling here for the last 3 or 4 years especially, and they've decided to make a change.
Well, this is the 20th season of Pioneer Football, of the Pioneer Football League, and if Drake can go to Butler this week, is that game at Butler or at Drake?
That's at Drake.
At Drake. Well, if Drake can hold serve at home against Butler, beat the Bulldogs, then in 17 of the 20 years of the PFL, either Dayton or Drake would have won or shared the title.
Shared the title. It really is, and that's just the consistency of our programs, very similar programs over the years there. And so that's what other schools want to be. They want to be like the Dayton and Drakes of the PFL.
Robert Strong with us as well, a senior wide receiver from Detroit, the Lieutenant Andy Zulli Award winner, was announced at halftime of the home finale on Senior Day on Saturday. And you get that luxury as a senior, Robert, that, okay, you had the hoopla of your last home game, and you get all the awards and the honors, and mom and dad and your wife are there and everything. But now you get to play another game. Do you have to kind of come down and get back to square one to begin preparation for one more game?
A little bit. I mean, every week you always take, Sunday and Monday to enjoy or reflect on how the week went. But I don't think that there'll be a problem for our seniors. Come Tuesday, it's back to work, and I think there'll be a little more intensity this week because even from last week, just because it's the last time we get to go through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And there's something special about that, and I think that we're pretty much going to treat each practice almost like a game day.
The highs and the lows. Coming off of San Diego had to be that was pretty low.
Yeah.
Compare the feeling you felt sitting in the airport out in San Diego on Sunday to how you felt in the locker room after the game on Saturday, the win over Drake. How far apart were those two emotions?
They couldn't be any further apart. I mean, just the whole atmosphere, it was really deflated after last week, but after this week, I mean, it couldn't be higher. I mean, people were just so excited and so happy for the seniors especially, and for the team that, we have this chance now to get another winning record. No one wants to be that second team with the losing record, so it's very important.
Rick, I mean, you saw the guys on Sunday. You saw that same group that I saw out in the airport. Were you at any point in time? Were you worried? Boy, are these guys going to have enough gas in the tank?
Larry, Monday. We met on Monday there because we got back late on Sunday. And I shared this with the team out on the field there. When I started our meeting on Monday and I looked out at the crowd here, I saw some tired faces. I really did. I could see it in their eyes and just in the way they were sitting and so forth. And I thought, this may be a tough one. We may not have enough left in us to finish out these last two games, especially with such a good opponent like Drake. But you know, Larry, Tuesday night when I was out at practice there, all those fears were erased. Just by the way they came out and into it. Like I said, they were locked in. They were into it right from Tuesday all the way through Saturday. But on Monday, I went home and I don't know if I slept a whole lot Monday night there.
Unless fans forget, Tuesday and Wednesday of this past week, I would have to say were the worst weather days of your entire season as far as practice.
Oh, cold and wet and windy, but it just didn't distract them. It really did. It acted like there was nothing going on around us, and all they had was their mindset. This is what I needed to do with offense or defense or special teams. They were in the zone, if you want to use that term. They were in the zone from Tuesday right through.
Robert Strong with us, one of the seniors, and obviously as a senior, one of the leaders on the state football team, and especially as the Andy Zulli Award winner. And Robert, when you guys hit the practice field on Tuesday on that wet, cold night, I'm going to guess that 110 of you were not all on the same page from a focus and energy standpoint. I certainly don't want you to name names, but did you guys see someone that might be a little stray calf here that you may have to rope in and get back with the herd?
To be honest, not as much as you'd think. I mean, it came from the underclassmen. They were really getting on each other. You know, like, we got to do this for our seniors. We're not letting them go out losing, and we're not letting them be that senior class that lost. And it was amazing how locked in everybody was. I mean, for the receivers, Tuesday and Wednesday were probably two of the best practices catch-wise that we had. We had very few drops, and it was really surprising, especially with the conditions. But the quarterbacks were locked in, receivers were locked in. Everybody was just focused and on every play, whether it be a run or a pass, or in team or in the perimeter drills or anything like that. It was just locked in for the entirety of practice each day.
You mentioned a good week in catching the ball in practice. You know, that's something else that Coach Sofchick's done. Mm-hmm. You guys get graded on literally catching the ball, not just in games, but every day in practice.
Yep, yes we do. He keeps track of all our drops, and when we go to our stretching groups at the end of practice, he makes us all do push-ups and for all the drops we had. So it holds us accountable. Not only do we have to do our push-ups after each drop, we have to do 15, but we do them as a group at the end, and it keeps you accountable to all the other guys, and that's a real focus, you know. And the way he does it is just so positive, you know, like, it's almost like you don't want to disappoint him. He's not going to yell at you for dropping it, but you just feel like, oh, I just let Coach down. I'll just let everybody else down too. So it's really good motivation.
That's a new wrinkle.
It is.
Coaching-wise.
It is. And Larry, that's what's so good about our intern coaching positions. These young men that are just getting into the coaching profession and the ideas they bring and being in different spots and so forth, it gives us some new blood that brings this to the players here and really helps them.
Now, this is the Rick Chamberlain Show here on the home of the Flyers. As we are in the final show of the season. Boy, the season went by real quick. And right now we're just going to kind of take a time out from football because we do want to talk about Marist coming up and some of the things that are yet to be done by the state football team. But we want to meet Robert Strong as more than just a football player, and even more just an Andy Zulli Award winner. So we start with the basic stuff, Robert. What's your major at UD?
I'm doing my undergraduate in chemical engineering, and we have this program where it's a 5-year bachelor-master's program, so I'm doing my master's in materials as well.
So with a master's in materials, does that mean there is a 5th year of football in Robert Strong's future?
No, there's not. I've been interning for a company at the Air Force Base for the past 2.5 years, and they've offered me a job full-time starting when I graduate in May, so
They won't let you off for a couple hours to go to practice. No, they won't do that. Now, there's someone here that our fans here at Milano's can see. Our radio audience cannot, and she's reticent to put on a microphone and speak herself. But please, for our radio audience, tell us who is sitting next to you here tonight.
My lovely wife, Jessica, is sitting here. A couple months now.
Now, how long have you guys been married?
Since July.
Since July. Now, a college football player, a college student, an intern for an engineering firm, and a married man.
Yep.
You got some plate spinning, my man. You got some plate spinning in the air.
Yep. Yeah, she's been incredibly supportive, and I feel bad, especially on Tuesdays. I come home and I leave at 8, and I come home at 10:30, and I'm just dead, and she's ready to go. She hasn't done anything all day. But,
Now, Coach, when did you first learn about these pending nuptials between Robert and Jess?
We heard about it, I think, last winter. That Robert shared with us that he was going to get married in the summertime there and have everything all planned out. And I didn't get to meet Jess until the wedding, but I could tell it was a good match. And Robert, he's level-headed. He wouldn't do anything unless it was going to work. And he knew he could be married and a football player.
Not a focus buster?
No, it was not. He'd be fine on all fronts there.
Well, I tell you what, my hat's off to you because I'm a married guy and I got a job and I'm not playing college football and I can barely handle what I've got going on. So I salute you both for what you've done so far. And certainly we wish you many, many happy years together.
Thank you very much.
All right. We're going to learn more about Robert Smith still, and we're going to learn about the Marist Red Foxes. That's to come as we continue on our final edition of the Rick Chamberlain Show in the home of the Flyers.
The home of the Flyers, 95.7 FM and AM 1290. News Talk Radio, WHIO.